most countries always indicate that a visa does not guarantee entry into that country. Now, what does that mean? That once you get to that country, you must submit yourself at the point of entry to be assessed by the immigration officer before you can be admitted into the country. Now, it means that the fact that they have granted you a visa does not mean it's not an automatic reason for you to enter the country. They can cancel or revoke that visa at any time. So here are common reasons why people are deported at the border, meaning at the point of entry. Now, the first reason why you may be deported is if you traveled with a fake document. Yes, you might ask me, oh, how did you make it through the local authorities in your country? Some people have their ways. Let's say you escaped that, the moment you get into the country where you're going to and you're discovered, to be in possession of a document that is fraudulent, you will be sent on the next thing smoking back to where you came from. And in this case, it would be your country, your home country. Now, you would ask me, how do they know? But then, there are certain security measures that are put in place. Let's say if you're given a visa, there are security checks that, that would only be present if it emanates from the authority that issued that visa. You have people who travel with a fake passport, or people who travel with a fake visa. Yes, they may have been able to deceive the local authorities in the country where they departed, but by the time they arrive at that destination and if it's discovered that your documents are fake, you would be sent on the next thing smoking back to where you came from. Another reason for deportation would be, let's say you had previously traveled to that destination and then you violated the terms of the authorization to stay in that country, in this case, your visa. Let's say you had a tourist visa, and then of course with a tourist visa you're not allowed to work. You're not allowed to work, and then you were at that destination previously and it was found, or it was discovered that you actually worked and then you earned an income. If you arrive again and then they have that information, they will send you back on the next thing, smoking. Another reason why you may be deported would be if you committed, a crime or you lied. These are things that are taken seriously. So if you lied or you committed a crime, they don't want criminals in their country. Like you would say, okay, how would they know? Most times when they find anything questionable on you, and then you do not provide sufficient explanation to convince them that yes, it's not what it appears to be, then that's a reason for deportation. I find that most times, I did share a video where I kind of caution people to be wary, or to be cautious of the content of the information that they have on their phone. Yes, once you submit yourself at the border, they have the authority to actually search things that you're bringing into their country. So once you submit yourself for search, they can go through anything that they want to go through, yes, including your phone records. Now, you do want to be careful if they find anything questionable on you. If you want to watch that video, I would include the link here. You go watch that video. It's important you watch it before you travel so you don't get into trouble. And then if they find anything questionable on you, you have situations where people have child pornography, things that on a normal day you would tell you, oh, it was sent to me in a group, people that belong to WhatsApp, any kind of WhatsApp group, you see, animal cruelty, things that Oyibo people maybe in your country you do it as a religious activities, but abroad they'll be worried that when you come in there you're going to do the same thing to the animals in their country. So these are things you don't want to have on you. So if they find anything questionable on you and then they suspect that you would likely engage in terrorist activities, you will be sent back on the next thing smoking to where you came from. Now, another reason would be if they cannot ascertain the purpose of your trip. Like you're saying that you're there on holiday and then you don't have any money on you, or maybe you don't know where you're going to from there, you don't know anyone, you don't know where you're going to. They actually interviewed you and realized that you do not have a plan, and they suspect that you're there for something else other than tourism. Once there's any suspicion and then there's no adequate, and response to that, then you may be sent on the next thing, smoking back into your home country. Which brings me to the next things. It's if you don't have any money on you, let's say you tell them you're traveling for 3 weeks, you say you have maybe like $200 on you. Like, depending on where you're going to, let's say you're traveling from Nigeria to the US, and then you're saying, okay, I'll be staying for 3 weeks. When they say, how much do you have on you? You're like, okay, I have $200, no bank cards, no nothing. Like, you cannot survive in the US for 3 weeks, with $200. So how are you going to sustain yourself? Now, they would suspect that you intend to work, and which is prohibited if you have a visitor's, a visit visa. So another reason would be if you overstayed, your visa, let's say the last time, let's say you were granted a visa and then when you were there, you actually overstayed, and then you're back again and then you're telling them, okay, I am going to stay, I'm not going to stay long. It's a reason, unless you had genuine reasons, compelling reasons to actually, that actually caused the overstay. It's a reason why you may be deported if you don't provide sufficient response and maybe defend yourself at the border. Now you might ask me, how would they know that you overstayed? There's a video, so you go watch this video and you would know how and that would answer that question for you. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Ototom. If you like this content, hit the like button and then share it with someone who is traveling, because you never can tell. Little mistakes can lead to deportation, and you don't want it, and I don't want you to go through that kind of traumatizing experience. So thank you very much for watching, and do have a good day. Bye.